Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. As you can see here, I have what we created before, which was sales by state, and we took out, using a filter over here, the states of New York and California, since their sales were head and shoulders above all the other states, and we wanted some more granularity around the rest of the states and visually seeing what their sales were. So we used a simple filter for that. The downside of that filter was it's not interactive if you have users or customers, business partners using your data just as a regular almost dashboard or interactive data visualization type thing, then the user cannot change anything how we have it set up right now. What I wanted to show you next in this video is an interactive filter. So I had said in the previous video that you could add order date and filter on that. And actually, I think that would make a really good interactive filter for your user. So we're actually going to take order date here and drag it over. And then what Tableau is going to do is it's going to ask you, how do you want to filter the order date? Do you want to do it by years, quarters, months, days, week numbers, weekdays? Things like that. So I am actually going to go ahead and choose months first, just because I want to show you something. So I'm going to choose months. I'm going to say next. Then it's going to ask, well, what months do you want to start with? I'm going to say all of them. And I'm going to hit apply and say OK. Now, that didn't really do anything, right? Because I didn't filter anything. And remember, I had said I wanted to make it interactive. So I'm going to go up to the filter and what they call pill, the pill of month of order date. I'm going to click on this down arrow. I'm going to left click on it, and it's going to give me a few options here. One of the first options up at the top here is show filter, and that's what I want to do. I want to show the filter so that we can interact with it. So as you can see, the filter appears up on the right-hand side here. And as we had picked before, all of the months are selected. So that doesn't really filter out the data, right? Because we didn't really apply a filter. And just to show you how it works, we can unselect all, and let's say we just want to see March and April sales. And the graph will show you just the states where and the total of sales for March and April. So you may not see all 50 states here. If you don't, that's because they didn't have any sales in March and April. So as you can also see, a lot of the graph bars have changed height because we're just showing the total sales for that state for March and April. Okay, so pretty good interactivity. If we throw this into the presentation mode, which is what your um, business users would see if you were to put this up on a server or a shared space, this is pretty much how it would look. The users could go in, they could maybe say February, I want to see February sales as well, maybe take out March. So some good interactivity there. What you could also do is you could play around with this filter by clicking the down arrow over here, and Tableau will give you a list of options to show the filter in. So let's say I wanted a drop down, right? To make things a little more cleaner, right? So let's change to the multiple values drop down. So now it kind of scrunches everything up and rolls everything up into this nice drop down that you can then say, you know what, I want everything except for January. And you click it and it adjusts the data just fine and then rolls everything up into that menu. So I'd like to actually show a range of dates. I think that would look the nicest and give the user the most flexibility. So I'm actually going to go over to filters to month order date. I'm going to pull down the drop down and I am going to select a different way of displaying the data for order date. I am actually going to go to week number, and you have to make sure you choose the right week number. It's the week number where it says, actually the day, the day is what I want to go after. It's where the date is actually spelled out here, where you can see my mouse. So I'm going to select that day. It's going to bring up a filter window and ask me, is this how you want to see the filter? You want a range of dates. And I'm going to say, yes, that's exactly what I had in mind. That's what I want to see. I'm going to click OK. And the date is going to change a little bit, right? Because now it's showing all of the days of the week, or all of the order dates. And I can't see any filter at this point. So I'm going to go back to day order date in the filters window, pull that down, and I'm going to say show filter again. Okay. Now we have this nice order date range to the right here. And actually, let me uh, shore up the graph so you can see that a little better and fit it in there. So now I have my order dates going from January 1st, 2015 all the way to June 30th, 2015. And I think we have some filters still left on there. So I'm going to take those off just in case. But we still have January 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2015. And now we can play with the order dates, right? I can say, you know what, I want to see half of January, let's say. I want to start in half of January for whatever reason and go all the way to June. And then maybe I don't want to see that. I want to see right up until March 31st. So just 2015, the quarter, right? So January through March 31st. So there is my Q1 2015 sales by state. So that's just I think a nicer way of showing order date. You can also modify this text up here to make it a little nicer. And also what I'm going to show you, I'm going to expand the order dates again to show everything and put it in presentation mode. So this is kind of what your users will see. I know it's cut off here on the screen. I apologize, but let me try to squeeze that in a little bit more for you so you can see it. This is pretty much what your users are going to see going forward. If you were to put this up on a shared drive, now your users can play around. It just gives it a little more interactivity, play around with the dates here and show sales by state for these time frames or whatever time frame they see fit. So that's a much better, much more robust, a much more interactive filter that you can apply to your Tableau dashboard or your Tableau interactive visualization for your business users. In the next video, I'm going to go into a filter that would work across sheets, which will give you the building block to create an interactive dashboard. See you in the next video.